Before we jump into this massive Dodgers update, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you never miss any breaking news the moment it drops. What I'm about to tell you isn't just another rumor, isn't just another quick headline. This is the kind of situation that can shake an entire clubhouse, flip the energy of a season, and expose exactly what's going wrong behind the scenes in Los Angeles. Because today, the Dodgers coach absolutely exploded in a press conference, and what came out of his mouth has fans stunned, players uncomfortable, and the entire league wondering what is really happening inside that locker room. It all started right after what most people thought would be a routine media session. The Dodgers had just finished a game that raised more questions than answers, a game where the team looked disconnected, unfocused, and surprisingly emotional. Normally, coaches step up to the podium and give safe answers, cliches, the typical "we'll clean it up, and we'll get better," but not today. Today, the coach walked in with a tone nobody expected. You could feel the tension through the cameras. No smile, no calm demeanor, just frustration simmering to the surface. And then the moment came. A reporter asked a simple question about the team's energy and chemistry on the field. Instead of giving a basic answer, the coach snapped. He leaned forward, stared directly at the room full of reporters, and said something nobody in the organization ever says publicly. "If you think the problem is our hitting or our pitching," he said, "you're wrong. The issue is inside. The issue is us. And if we don't fix it, we're not winning anything." That instantly changed the entire tone of the room. Reporters froze. Cameras zoomed in. You could see his frustration wasn't about one game, or even one series. This sounded like a deeper issue, something the public was never supposed to hear. The coach continued, saying the team was dealing with internal disagreements, lack of communication, and players not taking responsibility. And the moment he said that, the entire Dodgers fanbase went into meltdown mode. Because let's be honest, when a coach publicly calls out internal problems, it means things behind the scenes are worse than anyone imagined. But it didn't end there. The coach kept going. He said certain players were not following team strategies, that some weren't giving full effort during practice, and that accountability had become a major problem. That word accountability hit fans hard. It instantly sparked speculation about who he was talking about. Was it a struggling star? Was it a new player who hasn't adapted to the system? Was it a veteran who's clashing with the staff? You could feel the pressure building. Other players in the room, who were waiting for their turn to speak, looked visibly uncomfortable. The Dodgers organization is known for staying quiet, controlled, disciplined. Everything is usually handled behind closed doors. So for all of this to be said out loud, it means something serious pushed him over the edge. The most shocking part came when a reporter asked whether he believed the team could still perform at a championship level. Instead of giving the traditional yes, absolutely, the coach paused for several seconds. And then he said, "Not like this. Not with the way we're playing, and not with the way we're treating each other." That statement alone sent shockwaves through the media world. Because coaches almost always defend their players publicly. They protect the clubhouse. They keep family business inside. But today, the walls broke down. Something got revealed, and now everyone is scrambling to figure out what triggered this eruption. Sources close to the team say this outburst is connected to several recent incidents that happened behind closed doors. One insider claimed there was a heated argument in the clubhouse between players after the last series. Another source said coaches have been frustrated for weeks because players aren't sticking to the game plan, leading to sloppy plays and avoidable mistakes. Even some players have hinted in recent interviews that something feels off and that the team needs to have some honest conversations. Everything is starting to line up. Something deeper is going on. The biggest theory circulating right now is that there may be a division inside the roster. That some players, possibly veterans and newer stars, aren't seeing eye to eye about roles, leadership, and expectations. When a team this talented underperforms, frustration builds quickly. Add injuries, pressure from the media, and constant trade rumors, and suddenly the atmosphere becomes explosive. Usually the staff tries to manage it quietly, but it's clear that the tension has reached a boiling point. Fans online are already pointing fingers. Some believe the coach was calling out the pitching staff for lack of execution. Others think he was frustrated with certain hitters who haven't stepped up during key games. A few even believe this is connected to a bigger leadership issue inside the clubhouse. When a team's chemistry breaks down, it affects everything: timing, communication, motivation, even the way players react on the field. People are wondering if the Dodgers stars are truly working together or if the pressure of expectations is pulling them apart. But here's where things get even more dramatic. After the press conference, multiple players refused interviews. Some walked past reporters without making eye contact. A few gave short answers that felt rehearsed, almost like they'd been told not to fuel the fire. The organization itself declined to comment, which makes the situation feel even more serious. Normally they issue a controlled statement, but this time? Nothing. Silence. That silence is loud. Insiders say the front office is concerned. They know the coach's comments have created a wave of speculation, and now they have to decide how to handle the fallout. Some believe the team will hold an emergency meeting to address the issues internally. Others believe there may be lineup changes or even disciplinary actions coming. When a coach goes public like this, it usually means the staff has already tried fixing things privately and failed. So now the question becomes, how far is the organization willing to go to restore control? Fans, meanwhile, are freaking out. Social media is filled with reactions ranging from panic to anger. Some believe the coach was right to call out the team and demand accountability. Others think airing dirty laundry publicly will only make things worse. But one thing is certain, this press conference will be talked about for days, maybe weeks. You don't see a manager of a franchise this big and this successful erupt in front of cameras unless something truly major is happening behind the scenes. The timing of all this makes it even more intense. The Dodgers are entering a crucial stretch of their season. Every game matters, every decision matters, and every mistake is magnified. They simply cannot afford internal drama at a moment like this. A team with championship ambitions needs unity, discipline, and leadership. Instead, what we're seeing right now is tension, frustration, and confusion. This is the exact opposite of what fans expected heading into this period. And here's something to think about: dramatic moments like this can go in one of two directions. They can completely break a team apart, or they can spark a wake-up call that brings everyone together. Sometimes it takes a public explosion to force people to face the truth. Sometimes the most uncomfortable moments lead to real change. The coach's message wasn't just anger, it was a challenge. A warning. A demand for the team to look in the mirror and decide what kind of season they want to have. But let's not ignore another possibility. This outburst could have consequences for the coach himself. When you openly criticize your players and expose internal problems, it puts pressure on you too. If the team doesn't improve, people might start questioning whether the coaching staff is part of the problem. This moment puts everyone under the spotlight. The front office. The players. The coach. No one is safe from scrutiny now. Already there are whispers that the organization might consider making adjustments if things don't turn around quickly. A few analysts have even suggested that this could be the beginning of a larger shakeup: changes in the roster, shifts in leadership, or even a reevaluation of the coaching structure. That's how big this outburst feels. It wasn't just frustration after a bad game. It felt like the release of weeks, maybe months, of bottled-up tension. For fans, the biggest question is simple: what happens next? Will the team respond with fire and unity, proving the coach right and showing the league that they can overcome adversity? Or will this moment expose even deeper fractures, leading to more drama, more losses, and more uncertainty? The next few games are going to reveal a lot. Energy, chemistry, leadership. Everything will be under the microscope. Every move, every gesture, every interview will be analyzed. One thing is certain: this story is far from over. If anything, it's just beginning. There will be more reports, more reactions, and possibly more fallout. The Dodgers are officially in crisis mode, whether the organization wants to admit it or not. Fans deserve answers, the players need direction, and the coach has made it crystal clear that something must change immediately.